Hi, welcome to a vinyasa practice. My name's Kailey. When you're ready, you can meet me in a seat. We're going to start today with a little bit of breath practice. As with everything, absolutely everything that I offer, take what you need, leave what you don't. If I suggest something that's a firm, clear no for you, feel free to kind of be in a space of inquiry with your body about what might be a good substitute. That might be just dropping into stillness, that might be prayer, that might be meditation, that might be a certain pose or a sequence that you know that you like. So please feel free to make this truly the most nourishing space for yourself that you possibly can today. All right, when you're ready, we're going to practice an alternate nostril breathing pattern. So you'll take your right hand, bring your two peace fingers right between your brows, just a little bit above brow center. And then your right thumb will be the finger that you use for your right nostril. And the other two fingers can be the fingers that you use for your left nostril. So we'll start by bringing the hand to that placement. You know, let the eyes soften or close down if you'd like. You're also welcome to take your gaze to a spot on the floor right past the tip of your nose. Take a breath in and a breath out. Close your left nostril. Inhale through the right side for 4, 3, 2, 1. Close the right nostril. Exhale out the left. 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep the right nostril closed. Breathe in through the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Close left out right for 4, 3, 2, 1. In through the right for 4, 3, 2, 1. Close right out left 4, 3, 2, 1. One more round together. In through the left for 4, 3, 2, 1. Close left out right 4, 3, 2, 1. Breathe in through the right and then continue to work this breath pattern. It's totally okay if you get a little bit confused or if you're breathing out the other nostril. And see if you can just calm the mind and give it the breath as an anchor point. So as much as this practice may be about trying to move the flow of prana deliberately from side to side, it's also about centering and focusing your attention, your energy. It has nothing to do with whether or not you're getting the breath perfectly right. Practice this breath for another 30 seconds or so. The next time you exhale through the left side, go ahead and relax your right hand to your lap. And just notice, take stock here of your breath, of your energy. Can you feel the energy in your body moving? Where do you feel sensation? Where do you feel a connection to the breath? Bring your hands to your heart and committing to, again, making this practice a space where you can take absolutely incredibly gentle, loving care of yourself. where you can practice listening to your body and honoring the signals and the messages that you get. Where you can practice being in a space of inquiry about what's possible for you today. Giving yourself permission to rest and giving yourself permission to explore equally. Take a big cleansing breath here. In through both nostrils if you can. Fill up your belly, fill up your chest. Let the shoulders lift, let the collarbones lift as you fill your lungs all the way up. Sip in as much breath as possible. Open mouth, exhale. And blink your eyes open. Meet me on your hands and your knees. So find a tabletop position. And then draw some circles with your body over your wrists, over your knees. Hands are going to be about shoulder distance apart. Knees are about hips distance. But you can explore maybe reducing that distance or increasing that distance between the hands and the knees. Switch direction of the circles. Some days in my body, I like to bring the knees pretty close together. Just find what works today. Don't get too attached to any specific alignment. As long as you feel safe and stable, we're good to go. Come back to the center, little cat-cow. Start with cow, tilt the tailbone up. Soften your elbows, pull your heart forward through your arms. Imagine tractioning the heels of your hands towards your knees. Chin tilts up gently, so we're stretching open through the front side of your torso. Take a breath in. Tuck your tailbone as you exhale, round your spine, press the hands down, chin toward your chest. Imagine pushing the palms not just straight downward, but toward the top of your mat. Really increase the space between every one of your backbones, every one of the vertebrae. Come back to cow, move with your inhale, scoop your heart through, lift the chin up. Cat as you exhale, round your spine, chin tucks. Couple more, moving with your breath. Feel free to slow this movement down or to speed it up. I often think that we move a little bit fast through our days, through our lives. So if you're not sure about speeding up or slowing down, I would err on the side of slowing it down to start, especially early in your practice. And then come through a nice neutral spine. Maybe you walk forward a little bit on the mat to give yourself space. Tuck the right toes under and kick that right foot back behind you. Press back into your right heel for a stretch through the right calf. Feel free to shift forward and backward, maybe move around in that ankle a little bit. Might even feel good to come onto the top of the right foot and stretch. The next time that your shoulders are stacked over your wrists, pause there. Keep the hands down, float the right leg up. Pause there. Keep the right hand down, temp the left fingers. And then reach the left arm forward, find length as if you're trying to stretch your right hip socket open, create some space there. Big breath in. Underneath your body, elbow to knee, squeeze and contract the abdominals. If you need more here, bring your left hand to your right foot. Inhale, lengthen it out. 2 more times. Exhale, under the body, squeeze, press the right hand down. 1 more time. Big breath in. Big breath out. Hold it there, elbow to knee or hand to foot. Then take everything long, backstroke your left arm, reach back for your right foot as you bend your right knee, finding a bind. You can kick into that left hand with your right foot. Continue to push your right hand down to twirl the chest open a little bit. Without slingshotting anything, we're going to re-extend right leg back, left hand down, and then step your right foot outside of your right pinky finger. Tuck the left toes under. Step your left foot outside of your left pinky finger, finding Malasana. Apparently, I still have a little bit of a cold. I'm wiping a little with my sleeve here. So nice to be practicing at home in my own space where I can just share yoga and not germs. It might feel good to rock a little bit side to side. Lengthening through your lower back, lifting through your heart. Plug your thumbs up against your breastbone, press your elbows into your knees, take a breath in. And then fold forward, drop the fingers, lift the hips, heel toe your feet a little closer together, maybe hips distance. Slide your palms to your shins as you find your halfway stretch, nice flat back here. Breathe in, and then catch your calves as you exhale into your forward fold. Then again, lift up just halfway, nice long inhale, send the tail back and the crown of the head forward. Chest to thighs as you exhale, press through the balls of your feet. This time, unroll all the way up to standing. Nice long breath as you reach the arms up over your head. And then bring the hands to your heart. Let your gaze rest on the tips of your fingers or close your eyes down. Another opportunity to take stock of how you're feeling, what you might need. For me today, it's just going to be a nice, steady pace. That sounds like something that would feel really good in the body. For you, it might be patience or strength or optimism, maybe a little gratitude for your body and whatever relative health and wellness you're experiencing at the moment. Let's call that in. Big breath in through your nose. Open mouth, exhale, offering something up. Eyes blink open, reach upward on an in-breath. Fold forward as you exhale, catch the calves, hug it in. Find your halfway stretch, take a breath in. And then plant the hands, step back to the top of a push-up, pause in your plank pose. In high push-up, shift forward and backward a couple times. Checking in with your ankles, your calves. Try and keep the spine long so you're not dumping into the low back here. Keep the shoulders forward this next time and then bend your elbows straight back. Maybe drop the knees down, lower all the way down to your mat. We're going to take 3 cobra roll-ups. You might choose to walk the fingers back a little bit or out to the side. Come onto the tops of the feet. Inhale as you lift your chest, rolling up, long neck. Exhale as you lower back down. 2 more times, big breath to lift and open. And exhale to lower back down. Last one, inhale for your cobra roll-up. And then this time, exhale back to a child's pose, big toes together, knees wide, send your hips back and stretch. On an inhale, shift forward to all fours. And then tuck the left toes under. Let's find that single-sided calf stretch, shifting forward and backward, maybe coming onto the top of the left foot to open up to the front of the ankle. The next time your shoulders are stacked over the wrist, pause there, press the hands down, lift the left leg up. Pause there, press the left hand down, tent the right fingers, find your balance. Maybe you find a tiny tuck of the tailbone, reach the right arm long, hold, breathe. Notice if this side is a little bit more challenging than the other, for me it is. Big breath in. Elbow to knee or hand to foot as you breathe out. Inhale, reach it long. If you're doing hand to foot, exhale, bring your nose and your knee together. Once more, breathe in. And breathe out. Stretch it long, hold, back stroke the right arm, bend your left knee, catch foot or ankle. Keep pressing into your left hand for some stability. Notice the details of your face here. If you're clenching your jaw, can you soften around the mouth and the cheeks? Take everything long as you breathe in. Right hand down, left foot outside of left pinky, tuck the right toes under, and then right foot outside of right pinky. Back into Malasana. Elbows press into the knees, knees press into the elbows as you find a tall spine. Not here for as long. Take a big breath in. And then fold forward as you exhale. Heel toe the feet a little closer together. This time find ragdoll as you catch the crooks of the opposite elbows. Might feel good to find a little sway side to side or shift your weight from foot to foot. Release the fingers down, heel toe your feet as close together as feels good. Big toes could touch, but bring the knife edge of your feet parallel to the sides of your mat. As you press palms to shins, find a halfway stretch. Breathe in. Fold forward and breathe out. Go all the way up on the inhale, lengthening out. Bring your hands to your heart as you exhale, gaze to your fingers. Surya Namaskar, reach up, big breath in. Forward fold, breathe out, catch the calves, hug in tight. Halfway stretch, inhale, lengthen the spine. Plant your hands, step back, high plank to low plank. This time you choose half or all the way down. You can be on your knees if you're halfway down. Cobra or upward facing dog. Long inhale, finish the stretch, press into the tops of the feet. And then downward facing dog as you exhale. Set your gaze to one spot, maybe toward the middle of your mat today, so the back of the neck is nice and long. Press the hands down, little soft bend into your knees so that you can send your chest towards your thighs. Find some space in your stretch. On an inhale, lift the heels, send some weight forward. Exhale the breath and then take a big step or a bunch of little steps to the top of your mat. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Hold forward and breathe out. All the way up, focusing on the in-breath. This time, bend your elbows to the side, find a goalpost shape as you exhale. We're going to take it right into chair pose. Breathe in, sweep the arms forward. And then forward fold as you exhale, bow the heart down. Halfway lift, breathing in. Plant your hands, step back, high plank to low plank. We'll meet in downward facing dog. So this is our vinyasa. Great place to personalize your practice. When you get to downward facing dog, set your eyes to one spot. Breathe in. Breathe out. Lift the heels, look forward. Exhale the breath. Step, walk, or float to the top. Last Surya Namaskar, halfway stretch, breath in. Hold forward and empty. Unroll all the way up on the inhale. Bend your elbows, squeeze the glutes in the upper back as you exhale. Chair pose, take a breath in, sweep it low and reach up. Forward fold, exhale. Halfway stretch, breathe in. And then flow through your vinyasa, however you want to get to downward facing dog. Moving deliberately. Staying present. From downward facing dog, extend your right leg back behind you and then circle your right ankle. So you can keep the right leg straight to start. Switch the direction of the ankle circles. Really important to warm up through the feet. Bend your right knee, externally open the right hip. Maybe you soften the left knee a little bit here. You can draw some circles with your right knee. Check in with your right hip socket. Switch the direction of those knee circles. So we've got a little bit of a different kind of funky flow today. We'll see how it goes. Extend your right leg long, breathe in. And then step the right foot forward as you exhale. Keep the forward fold. So we're going to find a pyramid variation, straightening out the right leg, nose towards your right knee. From here, we're going to find a variation of Shiva squat. So shift the weight forward, bring your left knee to your right calf, and then see if you can float the arms by your side. So like airplane wings and a Shiva squat. Option to tuck the left toes back behind you for a little bit more support. From your Shiva squat variation, we're going to find a single-legged mountain. Lift the left knee and the arms. Find your balance. Set your eyes to one spot. We'll take it back to that Shiva squat with the airplane arms. Maybe the left toes tap down. From here, you're going to step the left foot back. Think reverse triangle, but with the chest squared. So square your chest toward the top of the mat. So instead of spinning open toward the left, we're squaring the chest toward the front. Big, long inhale. Interlace your hands at your lower back. We've got a humble warrior as you exhale. Tuck the right shoulder inside of the right knee. So first time through a new flow can be a little bit kind of like finding your way through a new town. You might get a little bit lost. You might take a little bit of a wrong turn at one point or start down the wrong street. Then it's pretty natural once we do it a few times. Give yourself permission to kind of be in that learning process, that learning experience. We're going to keep the bind and come back to that kind of chest squared reverse shape. So press into the feet, square the chest toward the front or toward the ceiling, drag your knuckles down, breathe in. And then we're going to step the left foot to the top of the mat and take an open armchair twist to the right. Left arm forward, right arm back. So you're twisting toward the right here. Sweep the right hand down outside of your right foot. So big bend into the knees. The right knee is going to lift and we're going to find eagle pose. Right leg over, right arm under. Option to take opposite hands to your shoulders. If that eagle arm bind feels crummy today, it's totally cool. So we're always making the practice work for the body, not making the body fight for the poses, but using these shapes to move some energy, to find some space and strength in our bodies. Keep the bind if you've got it. Take a breath in. Elbows to knees as you exhale, still in that bind, airplane your legs. So kick the right leg back behind you. We've got eagle arms here. From your airplane, we're going to take an eagle arm warrior one. Step your right foot to the back, little back bend. Point the fingers toward the ceiling or toward the back of the room as you breathe in. And then warrior two. Take up a little bit more space between your feet on your mat. If you were to draw a line straight back from your left ankle, it would bisect the inner arch of your right foot. Press the feet down and energetically away as if you're lengthening your mat out underneath you. Flip your left palm upward, reverse warrior option to lift the left heel. For me, I feel really stable keeping that left heel down today. Breathe in. And then cartwheel your hands, step the left foot back, flow through your vinyasa. We'll meet in downward facing dog. Nice long inhale, scooping the heart through. Down dog as you exhale, press your hips back. All of that on the left. Left leg lifts, keep it straight. Circle the ankle. Find space in your foot, maybe wiggle the toes, switch the direction of the ankle circles. Left knee bends, stack the left hip, and then draw some of those circles with your left knee, checking in with your left hip socket. Switch the direction of the knee circles. Good, kick the leg back, breathe in. Step forward as you exhale, pyramid variation. Fold forward, nose toward your left knee. Does not matter if that right heel is lifted or if the knees are soft or straight. In fact, maybe keeping a little micro bend in the knees is going to be a nice thing to do for those joint spaces. From here, Shiva squat variation with airplane arms. Right knee, left calf, airplane your arms. If you're not dropping the right toes down, really see if you can lift that right foot up high, but bend the knees low. Bend the knees low, bend the knees deeply. Stand up with the right knee, single-legged mountain, find your balance. Tailbone is long, crown of the head is reaching up. Back to that Shiva squat airplane arm variation here. All right, we're gonna step the right foot back a couple feet for that reverse triangle with a squared chest. Left arm comes up, chest is squared toward the front or the ceiling. Breathe in, bind the hands and find humble warrior as you breathe out. First time through, we're gonna hold humble warrior. Maybe you switch the bind so that the opposite pinky is outside. Do the less familiar version. Create a little bit of a new neuromuscular pathway. So our patterns, our actions, our thoughts are actually constantly forming and reshaping the mind. Keep the bind. Press into your feet, straightening out the legs, squaring the chest forward as you inhale. And then we're going to find that chair open arm twist to the left this time on the exhale. Got a wall a little too close in front of me today. Left hand's going to sweep down nice and low. Left leg comes up, left arm comes under for eagle. Draw the navel inward, find space in the lower back as you stack the shoulders over your hips here. Breathe in. Elbows to knees, breathe out. Keep the eagle arms, airplane your legs. Inhale as you press strong through your left foot. With or without the eagle arms, warrior one, left foot drops back, fingers reach up. Find a bit of a back bend on the inhale. And then warrior two, separate the feet a little bit further. Stretch from fingertip to fingertip. Notice if you're gripping the mat with your toes, can you lift your toes, push through the soles of your feet? Reverse warrior, option to lift the right heel. Take a breath in as you open through the right side body. Circle your hands, step it back, and flow through to downward facing dog. Breathing in. Breathing out. Stay in down dog. Take a nice long inhale. Maybe you open your mouth for your exhale, clear it out, make some space. Look forward, lift the heels, step, walk, or hop to the top. Halfway stretch, take a breath in. Hold forward and empty. Go all the way up on the inhale. Keep the legs straight. Bend your elbows on your exhale. Squeeze the glutes. Chair pose. Breathe in. Fold forward. Breathe out. We're going to put that sequence together. Lift up halfway on the in-breath. And then vinyasa, we will meet in downward facing dog. Feel free to skip the low push-up and up dog. Some days it feels great, other days we want to conserve some energy. There's no right or wrong. Right leg lifts up, breathe in, except for sides of the body, right? Step the right foot forward, keep the fold. Pyramid pose here, take a breath in. And a breath out. Shiva squat variation with airplane arms, inhale. Stay low on the exhale. This time we'll keep it pretty slow. Rise it up, left knee and arms, breathe in. Back to Shiva squat, breathe out. Step your left foot back, square the chest, reverse triangle with the left arm lifted on the inhale. Humble warrior on the exhale. Keep the bind, take it back to that reverse triangle with the chest squared. Breathe in, drag the knuckles down. Open armchair twist to the right, left arm forward. Eagle, reach the right arm under, right leg over. Find your balance here, breathe in. Or maybe you don't find the balance, breathe out. Keep the bind, airplane your legs. Inhale. Big step with the right foot to the back as you exhale. Warrior one with a bind, breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Reverse warrior, cartwheel it open on the inhale. And then float the hands down, high to low push up as you empty. Cobra or up dog, breathe in. Downward facing, exhale. We're on the left side, inhale, lift. Exhale, step it through. Pyramid variation, take a breath in. And a breath out. Shiva squat, airplane arms, inhale. Stay low on the exhale. Right knee and arm, single-legged mountain, big breath in. Back to Shiva squat, breathe out. Step the right foot back, reverse triangle, chest is squared, inhale. Humble warrior, interlace as you exhale. Take a breath in and a breath out. Keep the bind, come back to that reverse variation, breathe in. Open arm chair at the top to the left, breathe out. Left leg up, left arm under, eagle pose, breathe in. Sit low as you breathe out. Keep the bind, airplane your left leg, inhale. Step the left foot back, exhale. Warrior one with the bind, breathe in. Warrior two, breathe out. Reverse it, open on the in. Cartwheel it down, step back and flow. I'm gonna move through that sequence just one more time, starting from the top and not adding like full breaths in. It'll just be one single inhale for each pose, one single exhale. Look forward, lift the heels, step, walk, or hop. If that was confusing, that's me. It'll make sense as we move. Halfway stretch, breathe in. Fold forward and breathe out. Unroll all the way up on the inhale. Bend your elbows, squeeze the glutes, straight legs as you exhale. Chair pose, take a breath in, sit low. Fold forward and empty. Halfway stretch, moving nice and smooth, breathe in. Step or hop it back to chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing or low cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right leg goes high, breath in. Exhale, step the foot forward, keep the fold. Pyramid, inhale. Shiva squat, airplane arm, exhale. Left knee and arms, breathe in for your single-legged mountain. Back to Shiva squat with airplane arms as you empty. Step the left foot back, reverse it on the inhale. Humble warrior on the exhale. Keep the bind, back to reverse, breathe in. Chair, open arms to the right as you empty. Right leg up, right arm under, inhale. Eagle pose on the exhale. Stay here, take a breath in. And then airplane, unwind. Find your balance, breathe in. Drop the right foot to the back as you empty. Find a little back bend, follow your hands, look up on the inhale. Warrior two, exhale. Reverse warrior, take a breath in. This time, dragonfly twist. Cartwheel your hands down, your right hand down as you lift the left arm up. From dragonfly, we're going to pivot the toes toward the long left side of your yoga mat. We're actually going to turn this into Gomukhasana. That's our knee pile. So you're going to slide your left knee, your right knee, excuse me, underneath your left. Stack your left knee on top of the right. So you're sitting facing the left side of your mat. Stay here for a moment. Interlace your hands behind your head. Open the elbows wide and then look straight forward. So don't arch the spine here if you can. Find a nice tall back, crown of the head reaching up, elbows go wide. Keep that flat back as you hinge it forward. Keep the elbows wide to get really active through your upper back. Then relax the hands down. We'll be here for about 5 nice deep breaths. Feel free to lower your head to a supportive prop or to your knees. When you're ready, start to lift the head up and bring the right hand back toward the top of the mat. We're going to unravel that left leg all the way out to the side and then stack the knees here. So knees are stacking. Lower all the way down onto your right forearm. and then lift the knees up. You can bring your right hand, or your left hand, excuse me, left hand to left hip. We're gonna take a little bit of an oblique exercise here. So obliques are those muscles between the bottom of your right rib and the top of your right hip. Lower the hips down, and then think about contracting that space between the bottom of your right rib and the top of your right hip to lift and squeeze. So lower the hips and lift. We're just gonna move between those two. If you feel good here and you need a little bit more, feel free to lift that left leg as you lift up. It's the sneaky one for my body. It feels pretty like not much is going on, and then the next day all of a sudden you might get a little bit of extra awareness to the side body. Try not to snake your body back toward your hips. Try and keep that right shoulder over the right elbow and wrist. For 4. For 3. Last 2, we're gonna lift and hold. So lower lift and hold. For 5, option to lift that left leg if you have it. 4, 3, look down at your right hand. 2, and 1. Find hands and knees however you can, crawl it back, and then bump your hips side to side here. So rinse it out a little bit. Body circles, cat-cow, whatever feels like a good kind of reset before you move through that on the other side. When you're ready, toes tuck under, downward facing dog. Lift your left leg, breathe in. Step forward, keep the forward fold as you exhale, pyramid, take a full breath in. Shiva squat with airplane arms as you breathe out. Single-legged mountain, inhale, you rise with the right knee. Back to Shiva squat, airplane arms with the breath out. Step your right foot back, reverse square the chest, breathe in. Humble warrior, breathe out. Keep your bind, come back to reverse on the in-breath. And then open arm chair to the left as you exhale. Left leg lifts, left arm under, eagle pose, wrapping it up, breathe in. And breathe out. Airplane legs, eagle arms, inhale. Step your left foot to the back, exhale. Warrior 1 with the bind, breathe in. Warrior 2, breathe out. Reverse open on the inhale. Cartwheel left hand down, right arm up for dragonfly. Pause here. We're going to turn this into our Gomukhasana, our cow face, by turning the toes toward the right side of the yoga mat. Slide your right knee under your left. Your left knee under your right. Did it again. For your cow face posture on this side. This time you choose if you want to bring the hands behind the head with the elbows wide. Find a nice long spine. And then almost imagine that you're trying to kind of pull the elbows apart, pull the hands apart as you fold forward. And stay there or release the hands. Deep, deep breaths. Notice where you can feel the sensation of the stretch. And can you breathe in a way that helps you feel real connected to that? And notice the details of your face here, if you're holding tension or wearing some kind of muscular mask that you might be able to soften. And start to lift up, look toward your top hand, left hand this time. Bring that left forearm and elbow down as you unwind your right leg. Bend your knees. You can bring right hand to your right hip, or you can bring your right hand down. We're working the left side body now. So press into your left elbow, lift the hips, and then lower the hips. Lift and lower. Imagine that you're trying to use this part of your body, like squeeze between the left hip and the bottom of the left rib to lift. Keeping your left shoulder over the left elbow or wrist. Option, I don't feel like I need any more on this side, but option if you want is to lift that right leg. That's just a little bit more weight to work against, to load the left obliques. For 5, lift and hold in 4, 3, 2, lift, hold in 1, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands and knees. Cow pose, take a big breath in. And then cat pose as you exhale, round your spine. 2 more here. Inhale, pull forward for cow. Exhale, cat. Last one on your own. From here, find downward facing dog. So the way the class is going to go from here is we've got half pigeon on the right, and then we'll take some core work, bridge and outs before we take half pigeon on the left. So slide the right knee forward behind the right wrist and stretch long through your left leg. For me and for a lot of folks, it feels good to stay lifted for a few breaths. And then to eventually walk the arms forward, maybe bowing the head down. Feel free to grab something for underneath your forehead for a little support, or to grab something for underneath your right sit bone just to bring the earth up so that you can relax that right hip down. And so the magic of these poses after we've done some movement is that there's some warmth in the muscles, and we might be a little bit more receptive to stretching, to softening, maybe a little bit more receptive mentally or energetically to relaxing. Just this balancing act that our bodies and our minds are constantly working to do. This homeostasis, this equilibrium. And so after a period of activity or challenge, it's a very natural inclination toward a little bit of rest and relaxation. And notice how your body is responding to the pose. Take 2 more rounds of breath. And start to walk the hands back inward. Shift the weight over to the right. And bring the left leg around in front of you. Draw the knees in toward the chest. Hook the back of the knees here. Lift your heart, and then maybe one leg at a time, lift the legs, finding your balance on your sit bones, finding Navasana here. From Navasana, you can stay here with your hands where they are, or bring your hands back behind you. And stay there with the hands back behind you, or come on to the elbows. Lower the legs, keep the back flat, and then lift the legs back up. We're going to lower and lift, just little straight leg lifts here. Option to soften the knees if you need a little bit shorter lever for your core. Just moving right here. If you need more, come back onto the palms, lower back and lift with bent knees. Lower back, lift with bent knees. If you still need more, lift with straight legs. For me, I feel less when I straighten the legs. I lose the connection to the abdominals. We're here for 10 seconds, so not number of reps. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lower down onto your back, bend your knees, take it right into bridge pose. Push your feet down, lift your hips up. Set the eyes to one spot on the ceiling or the sky if you happen to be outside. Press your feet straight down. Send your chest toward your chin and then reach back through the crown of the head. So the chin is moving away from the chest gently. Lift high, lift high, lift high. Big breath in. Lower it down as you empty. Come right back to your abdominal work. So I'm going to come to palms and do my knee crunches here, knee in and outs. You could be here balancing for your boat pose. You could be here on your hands for your boat. We're here for 10. Last 3, 2, 1. Bridge pose, feet down, lift your hips up. 5 long breaths. We've got one more set of core and a back bend before half pigeon on the left. If your body is done, maybe you go straight to half pigeon on the left. Be sure that you're honoring yourself, right? So be willing to explore your edge, but also willing to take really, really good care of yourself. If you're done, you're done. Lift high, breathe in, lower it down. Last bit of abdominals here. A little bit longer set. We're here for 20 seconds. Halfway there, last 10. Bicycle crunches are a great option as well. Last 3, 2, bridge pose, last back bend, last really muscular shape of the practice. Come back to nice long rhythmic breathing in and out through the nose. Maybe you soften the eyes or close them down. Feel the stretch across the front of the hips, through the fronts of the thighs. Brighten up the back bend. One more long inhale. Lower it down as you empty. Clear that out. You can windshield wiper the knees gently side to side, and then find half pigeon on the left, either coming through down dog or just sliding that left shin forward. And see if you can start to let go of any sense of rushing or hurrying. There's something waiting for you at the end of your practice. Let it be there. See if you can gently unhook. Trust your timeline. If it's at all possible for you to stay in the stretch, to stay for shavasana, even just to stay for one really conscious, mindful breath. Maybe staying for one conscious, mindful breath at a time, and seeing how many of those you can string together. Gaining a sense of satisfaction and competency or agency from the ability to continue to come back to the present moment. It's such a simple thing, but at least for some of us, for me for sure, a pretty challenging skill set to hone, to stay present, to keep returning to the present. One more mindful breath in your stretch. Filling the body with prana, with energy, with nutrients. And softening as you exhale and start to walk the hands back. Shift the weight to the left, not for more back bends or core work, but just so that you can roll it out nice and slow onto your back. Draw the knees into your chest, and then Move around in any way that feels good for your lower back. You could circle the knees or windshield wiper them side to side. Maybe extend the legs straight up toward the ceiling for a moment, a little supported, gentle inversion. When you're ready, find Shavasana or some other resting pose where you can close your practice. Right? It can be this gesture of surrender, where you can give your mind, your body, your spirit the message that it's safe, that it's okay to relax, that you did enough, and that most importantly, you are enough. And stay here, basking in the effort of your practice, soaking up the stillness just for a few moments, listening for my voice to close class together. Stay here just a little longer. Bring your thumbs and gently rub the tips of your other fingers. So the texture, the temperature, the moisture of the fingers. And start to bring some other little movements online. Maybe circle your ankles. It feels good to stretch the arms up overhead and to extend the legs, to point the toes, taking a full body stretch here. Eventually, like you're rising from a really restful night's sleep, you can take your time to press from your back to a seat. When you land, bring your hands to your heart, coming back to that intention to take exceptionally good care of yourself. So as you move through the rest of the day, not shying away from challenges or edges, but also not forcing, finding that sweet spot where we're meeting life as it's unfolding with as much skill, as much humility, as much enthusiasm as possible. Big breath in to close practice. Open mouth, exhale. Awesome to have you with me today. Keep taking good care of yourself, and I hope to see you soon.